Hi, fellow YouTube fans, right? Today I'm going to talk about Pegasus and the general economic trend of all these play to earn games in general, right? So I think there are several stages. After months of investing in Axie Infinity and as well as Pegasus, I think there are general trends, stages, and patterns that we can expect from all these games. Yeah, this is inherent repeating pattern due to the nature of the tokenomics, right? So what is the nature of the tokenomics of Pegasus and Axie Infinity? It's basically consists of three items, right? So the first you have this VRS or in Axie Infinity is SLP. So this is like always in infinite supply, right? And then you have this Pega or Axis, right? This is a asset, but that generate income. This is also inflationary asset because it can multiply like forever. It generates an income, which is the reward token, VRS or SLP, depending on the game that you play, right? And the lastly is the which is the scarce asset, the one that has limit is the governance token of the game, right? So these three forms the basics of investment. So I think in stage one, when the game is actually getting hype, the hype actually come from where does the hype come? The hype actually come from the yield, right? Come from you, right? So people what getting excited is about, the Pegasus is actually making the kind of crazy return, right? This is the same as the initial stage of Axie Infinity, right? The Axis were making insane return. The reason why the Axis is making insane return is that is that they are projecting the future return based on the current value of the reward, right? The VIS or the VIS or the SLP, right? So if the value can sustain, which they cannot, because there's an infinite supply, right? If the value they can sustain, so they were projecting their investment return based on that. So that is a very high rate of return, but that high rate of return is fundamentally unsustainable over the long term because the underlying reward is inflationary. And inflationary assets tend to lose their value over time. So the hype actually comes from the yield itself, right? So when the hype is actually come from the yield itself, right? So definitely it's bullish for Pega. It's also bullish for VIS, right? So PGX also I would say it's mild bullish because the PGX actually all the governance token, right? They are not directly involved in the hype, right? The hype is more on the assets in generating VRS reward, right? So as there are more people buying Pega, the demand for VRS increase. The demand for VRS increase because you need these VRS to breed more Pega. You need and the VRS value go up. VRS value go up. So the Pega, which is a function of future earning on VIS, right? So as the value of VIS go up, the Pega become more valuable because people see that, okay, right now I make 100 VIS a day, and since VIS value is going up, my Pega is actually more valuable because again, there's a higher yield on investment, right? But all these are based on the thesis that VIS price go up, right? It's exactly like 2008 financial bubble, right? If house price always go up, it doesn't really matter to your mortgage loan. So PGX is actually mildly bullish, right? It's mildly bullish, right? So then you have stage two, right? Losing steam due to inflation. But as people realize that this can't get on forever, right? So the VIS will be kind of like very bearish because people are dumping a VIS, and as a result, Pega, right? Pega, which is a function of VIS, right? It become very bearish as well, right? Because Pega is simply a function of VIS, right? If you think about it, so people measure Pega's value in terms of how much VIS I can get over a lifetime, right? So as long as you don't change any rule on the Pega earning on the reward system, right? Is VIS very bearish, right? And it's kind of so PGX will be bearish, but which is bearish, but not very bearish, right? Because PGX is, after all, is a limit, come with limited supply, right? So it's not as the capital flight doesn't affect as bad as PGX, right? Because all the money are actually leaving VIS and Pega, which actually inflationary, right? And stage 3 is a rescue plan, right? So the only rescue plan that is working in the crypto space in Plato Ungame is actually limit the supply of VIS, right? In SRP or SRP, right? In Axie Infinity, they just limit the reward, right? So basically, less reward for players. Right? That is the only thing that works. Right, so you can try something new, but it's very unlikely that it's going to work, right? I know Paxi is actually they are very serious about creating utility, right? But I'm very bearish on that approach, right? It is, and right now they seem to agree with me, right? They're going to try limiting the VIS supply, which is fundamentally the only way that I think it works in the crypto space, right? Is going to back to the most fundamental question: where do value come from? Value come from scarcity, right? Not come from any sort of utility, right? As long as it's scarce, people are going to give them some value. So with this less reward for players. So actually. So I think the direct effect will be on VIS, right? So we are at the stage 3 now of the rescue plan, right? I think it will be very bullish for VIS. It will be very. It was kind of bullish for. PGX, right? Bullish for PGX. But Pega is actually going to be a bearish, right? A bearish. It's very simple, right? Because when the less reward for players, Pega is the Pega value come from it's a function of the future earning of VIS, right? So on one hand, you have VIS becoming more valuable, but this actually offset by getting less reward. So overall, it will be bearish for Pega owners, right? So you can think of it like a pay cut for Pega owners, right? That they are. Their salary are going to get decreased, right? But the unit of their currency is actually getting stronger. But as a whole, they're making less money than before, right? Which is a necessary sacrifice that they have to make for the game to survive and try, right? So we are actually at this stage, right? So I think this is the stage that you want to hold PGX. You want to hold PGX, right? And if you're more aggressive, you can consider hold both PGX and have some allocation in VIS, right? Because right now they are limiting the supply of VIS, right? Which the main beneficiary is going to be VIS, and PGX the impact on PGX is less direct. But if you want to play safe, you can just hold PGX, right? Because over the long run, all value goes to PGX. Right? Because VIS, after all, is still an inflationary asset. You don't want to hold VIS for a very, very long term. So, but at this junction right now, over the next 1 to 2 months, you might consider on the whole VIS, right? Because now VIS is like a bottom right now. It's a bottom right now, and if we have a reversal, right, VIS will outperform PGX for the next 1 to 2 months, right? That if you believe that this is a turning point, yeah. So you might want to hold some VIS. But if you want to play safe, you can just be 100% long PGX. Right? So okay, then if the rescue plan will be successful, it will form some of stabilization, right? So PGX will be more bullish, right? So because we already had an increase of value here, right? So after all, you will reach some sort of stabilization. The people will see that this game can really survive and thrive, right? There will be more money, late stage money going to the game, right? People are not looking for a quick money. People are just looking to pack some value, like some form of their asset allocation, some money into the game, right? Because if the game becomes successful, it will be like the value will be like top 30 in coin market cap or even top 20, right? So when that happens, right, people don't see like PGX or Pegasus as emerging altcoin. Right? It's more like a big short altcoin in the later stage, right? So PGX, right, so it can still go increase some core value. It will be mildly bullish, right? But the Pega actually will be I would say in terms of Pega, I think will be mildly bearish, right? VS will be mildly bearish also. That's in my opinion because because fundamentally, right? Maybe I'm too harsh, right? Let me put it in this way: mildly bearish or neutral, mildly bearish or neutral. So because fundamentally they are inflationary assets, right? So over the very long run, you don't expect inflationary assets to perform well, right? Unless they make some changes, and so Pega and VNS, right? So you can just take a look at how XC player have done for Axie Infinity in the past 1 year, right? So in the past 1 year is actually we had the kind of like the late stage of Axie Infinity, right? So if you own AXS, you probably make a little bit of money. But if you own Axis and SLP, that has been not so good, right? And so because at least late stage of the game, all value go back to the governance token, to PGX, right? So if you look at the entire cycle, right? If you just hold PGX throughout the way, mildly bullish, bearish, bullish, mildly bullish. Right? So PGX will actually rise in value, right? It will go up and down, but eventually it will go up if the project is successful, right? Because PGX is the governance token which most of the value accrual takes place, and it's designed to be in such a way. The developer actually hold most of their assets in PGX also. You want to align your assets in terms of you want to align your incentive same as developers, right? Developers hold PGX. So eventually a PGX is a safe bet, right? But if you hold VIS and the Pega, you can only make money if you time the market very well, right? Because initial stage are going to be bullish and followed by a very bearish, right? So think of it, if you hold VIS at the top, like 20 cents, right? Now it's less than 1 cent, it's like half a cent. So basically you lost 95% of the value. So that could be that could hurt yourself very badly. You won't lose so much money if you are, say, you invest in PGX. Okay, then so this they have very wild swing, right? And over the long term, they are as VIS and the Pega, they are going to underperform PGX over the very long term, right? VIS and Pega are going to underperform PGX because PGX is designed as a dreamer. This is by design, but within very short bullish cycles, right? Pega and the VIS can, within the short period of time, overperform PGX, right? So if I'm more of a speculating aggressive players, there are times where you actually can speculate into VIS or Pega, right? But right now, I'm just not very bullish on Pega, to be honest, right? But I'm because you see more. If anything go wrong, right, Pega will always take a hit. Right? This is how the game works, right? But every time we will have a reform and something goes wrong, okay, just make the Pega less VIS, right? So that will solve the problem, right? that has been the default mentality for developer, and they don't really have any other choice, right? Can't really blame it. They don't have any other better choice either, right? Don't expect them to use their own money to buy VIS, right? That's not going to last very long, also, right? So whenever you have oversupply kind of problem, so Pega will take a hit, right? They just less VIS for Pega elements, right? So we're at a stage right now where they're trying to save the VIS value, right? So I think right now VIS could outperform PGX
PGX. But I don't recommend you put everything in EVS. That's very dangerous because overall over the long term it's an inflationary asset. All value eventually accrue back to PGX. Okay, that's all for my analysis. I hope you like this video and share it with your friends to